Hi, just wanted to do a quick video on why I don't trust polls. Uh, in the last election, all you heard was about how Hillary Clinton was winning. She was going to win this. I think up until about 5 or 6 o'clock on election night, everybody had her winning. All the polls were coming in. Republicans might as well just go ahead and stay home. She's going to win by a landslide. She's going to this. She's going to that. All the polls were saying this. Well, the polls obviously got it wrong. And there's a reason why I just don't trust polls. And it has a lot more to do than just that. But that's the one thing that's most recent that most people can remember. Because it seemed like if you were watching CNN or MSNBC or any of the other networks, they all seem to have a meltdown when they realize that, oh my God, Donald Trump is walking up to the podium to accept the presidency, that he was the winner, that she had already made a concession call. The reason why I don't trust polls is because of who runs them and who orders them. And here's the basic reason. Back in 2000, I think it was, I was living in Metuchen, New Jersey. And the state of New Jersey had the death penalty at the time. So it might have been 99, somewhere between 99 and 2002, I lived in Metuchen. And I was home one night, and I get a call, and this young lady, and I'll just call her Jill, calls up, and I answer the phone. And she says, "Hello, my name is Jill," and I forget what polling company she was with, but it was one of the bigger ones that you'd recognize, and I'd recognized. And she goes, "I'm doing a poll for whatever company it was, and we're asking residents about the death penalty. Is that all right? Would you like to participate in the poll?" I'm like, "Oh, sure." She goes, "Okay, I'm just going to put you down that you're against the state of New Jersey murdering its own citizens. Is that okay?" I'm like, no. And you can kind of hear, like, her jaw drop, like, "You're for the state of New Jersey murdering its citizens?" "No." So, okay, then I'm going to put, no. You don't understand. I'm for the death penalty. And she goes, "So you're for the state murder?" No. That's not what the death penalty is. If I feel that if you have the belief that you have the right to take another human being's life simply because it suits your purposes at the time, then once you're arrested, you're tried, and you're convicted, and you've had due process, that the state has a right to say, "Okay, you've proven your worth. You believe you have the right to play God? We'll introduce you, and you can make your arguments before him." And that's my belief. And she goes, "So you're for the death penalty?" "Yes." "Okay, I'll mark you that you're for it. Thank you." "Okay." And she hangs up. And you could tell I just kind of rocked her world. That she couldn't believe somebody was actually for the death penalty. And that's my firm belief. If you think you have the right to play God and take another human being's life simply because it suits your purposes, hey, you've proven your worth. You know, there's no place for you. Get out of here. But I do believe there should be certain conditions on death penalty, but that's for another video. There's been a lot of people out there that have proven after 20, 25 years that some people sitting on death row or life in prison sentences have been completely innocent and have been able to prove it. I think there should be some very, very strict limitations on what is a death penalty case. And there should be some safeguards in there. But getting back to the subject, 2 or 3 days later, the poll comes out. And it was like Star Ledger or Trentonian, I forget where it was that I saw it. But they had it, polling company polls some insanely high amount of residents. It was like 4,000, I think. And 80 some odd percent, I want to say it was 87%, but I might be wrong, but it was in the 80s percent are against the death penalty. And they got rid of the death penalty and commuted the death penalty sentences to life in prison without parole on all the ones that were on death row. And I think Jersey at the time only had 11 or 12 people on death row. But ever since then, I've just had a really bad taste in my mouth when it comes to polls. Because I think of most poll takers like Jill. Are they asking you the question? Because the question, according to the newspaper, was, are you for or against New Jersey keeping the death penalty? Well, she never asked that. She said that she was going to mark me down that I was against the state of New Jersey murdering its citizens. That wasn't, are you for or against the state of New Jersey keeping the death penalty? I never got asked that. But that was the question according to the poll. And when I see all these polls, one, I wonder who's ordering them. Two, I wonder who it is that's conducting them. And three, and the most important, who the hell is asking the question? Are they putting their belief in as the answer? Are they even asking you the question? I mean, based on the one experience that I had, what's being asked or what the people that are paying for the question to be asked, they're not getting it. And we're not getting a truthful response. That's why I brought up Hillary Clinton. All the polls had her winning. Who was asking the questions? How were they asking the questions? Were the questions that were being paid for actually asked? Or was it the opinion of the person taking the poll? Were they asking their own interpretation of what they wanted to be asked? You know, it just wasn't a positive experience in that way. I did not get asked the right question according to the newspapers. It never came out. So when you see all these polls, Hillary Clinton is going to win by a landslide. Well, no, she didn't. She may have won the popular vote. She won that by about 4 million. But out of the 50 states, President Trump won 31, which means she won 19. There's a big gap between 19 and 31. And the states that she won were the most populous, which she only went to the most populous states. She only went to California. She only went to New York. She only went to Chicago, Illinois. You know, Chicago in some ways is its own state, but it's a big Democrat stronghold. And she could not even fill all the seats in the arenas that she went to. Trump went everywhere. He went to Republican strongholds and he went to Democrat strongholds. And he got his message out. And he won 31 of the 50 states. And since then, even CNN is still having a meltdown. But hey, it is what it is. But when you see all these polls that are coming out, take it with a grain of salt. The question that appears in the newspaper may not have been the question asked. Is it accurate? because they're still trying to figure out how it is that they got things wrong, how it is that the president that we have could ever be the president, because the polls said something different. How did that get wrong? How did they get it wrong? That's how. Most likely, the information wasn't accurate because of who was asking the questions. But when I see all these, polls, 70% of the people are against. I don't know about that. To me, everything is 50-50. Either something's going to happen or it's not going to happen. And if it happens, it was meant for a reason. And if it doesn't happen, same thing. It's 50-50. It's going to go one way or the other. That's just life. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. But I'll find out in the comments below, I'm sure. I've been getting a lot of them lately. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a very happy, healthy, safe, and enjoyable day. Bye.